Hello, my name's Michael Conneely, and this is a video about Shatabishak lunar sign, or Shatabishak Nakshatra. Vedic astrology has a wonderful and immensely powerful lunar zodiac as well as the 12-sign solar zodiac. And Shatabishak is the 24th of the 27 nakshatras. And basically, one of the meanings of the name is the 100 healers. And Shatabishak people, so your Shatabishak emphasis, if you have moon, sun or ascendant there, or even any planet there, Shatabishak people can become healers. But actually I find they have to undergo healing processes themselves, otherwise they experience the negative potential of this sign. So it's quite a philosophical, dreamy, seclusive sign, and it can be very moody and dogmatic and aggressive. So basically, it occupies the position in the Vedic sidereal zodiac of 6 degrees 40 Aquarius to 20 degrees Aquarius. And it's orientated to sattva, or spiritual awareness, but also to tamas, a bit of tamas as well, materiality. And its power animal is female, the mare, the female horse, so its gender is often seen as female or sometimes depicted as neuter. And it can have relationship difficulties, which I think that's what it's picking up there. Now the god, the ruling deity of Shatabishak is Varuna, the great god of underworld and night and water. So the complex nature of this nakshatra is to do with secrets, spiritual secrets, seclusion, philosophical meditation, but it's also touchy and paranoid, and it can undo its potential dreadfully and fight back no end if people try to point out what's going on. It can often embrace some huge project which it deems to be enlightenment, but in fact is some closed system. Read George Eliot's, what's it called? George Eliot's?
Middlemarch?
Middlemarch, yes. And the Reverend Edward Casaubon is a negative Shatabishak and treats his wife dreadfully as he's embarking on this huge study, which will never be published, of the alleged relationships between aridly defined ancient spiritual forms. So the symbol of Shatabishak is the circle. Now in one sense the circle is containment. And so again, they can, be very sort of untouchable and unsociable and pompous, like Reverend Edward Casaubon in Middlemarch. But it's also about the infinite, because that's what they're really connected to. That's what they really have to open themselves to. And so they very often develop a vision of how life should be, must be on this earth. But that's their unhealed self. Their healed self is to use their mind and their healing powers in the philanthropic, benefic way that is the best side of Aquarius, the sign they're part of. So they can often be into hidden secret formula. But what they need to do is to create user-friendly learning guides or paradigms or teachings for others. I'm trying to show how it is a sign of healing, but you have to confront your own demons and go through your own healing, as we all do, if you're to become the wonderful Shatabishak mystical healer. Otherwise it stays as the aggressive critic, and even can be quite chaotic, because its ruler is actually Rahu, the North Node, which is a driven demon energy, until we purify it and use the direction and the impulse and drive of Rahu in a way that isn't dark. And also, in terms of Ayurveda, its quality is Vata, or air. So this is a risk with Vata, because it can be very mentalistic in its utterance, but that's the wounded expression of Shatabishak. And, you know, Vata people have a tendency towards nervousness, so they need to be kind to themselves and to others to manage the stress, because otherwise they can actually get meltdown, mental meltdown. And so Vata can further aggravate the demons and the blocks that are in the unregenerate, unhealed nature of Shatabishak. So they can become untouchable. They can meet kind people who could help and heal them and support their learning and so forth. But they stay in their circle, they resist. No, it can't be done. It's all fixed. And so it's a bit of a melancholy end when that happens. But positively, they can develop the healing towards quite difficult metaphysical illnesses in themselves and others. Unusual illnesses. Illnesses which require deeply alternative healing methods, whether visionary or energy healing. This is what they're here for. The great sort of paradigm of Shatabishak is an individual called Valmiki, who was a terrible robber and who ended up becoming the writer of the great Indian spiritual epic, the Ramayana. How wonderful. Now, basically, as with all the nakshatras, there's 4 parts, or padas, and it makes a difference which of the 4 parts your planets are in. So, you know, you could join my nakshatras course, where you go through all the 27 nakshatras, studying them in your chart and mine, very authentic, genuine, caring, sharing. And then part 2 of that course looks at the wonderful, powerful, analytical techniques using nakshatras analysis. So much can be said, particularly so much can be said about relationships, studying the nakshatras. Or you can have a reading with me. My readings usually combine Western with Vedic astrology. So, get in touch and I hope to hear from you. Thank you.